And joining us right now is former U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia and our good friend every Monday morning, Joe DiGenova. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning.
So this guy hops the fence at the White House, makes it all the way across the lawn, and through the front door into the White House. Now, he's been arrested. And by the way, one interesting side note, he's from Copperas Cove, Texas. You know who else is from Copperas Cove, Texas?
I've heard it. I'm sorry.
Robert Griffin III. He is from RG3's hometown.
Well, we know it wasn't Robert Griffin III because he doesn't.
He ain't running anywhere.
He ain't running anywhere right now. That's right. Not jumping any fences.
He moved pretty good there. But this is obviously the Secret Service is taking this very seriously, as they should. And their response is, well, we've got to push back the perimeter of the White House. Is that really the response? And shouldn't there be more thought given to this before we just automatically roll over and give up those liberties?
Well, I think the real problem right now is that the Secret Service has been horrendously managed for a number of years. They need a complete shakeup. Ron Kessler has been writing about this for a long time. The Secret Service is a mess. That this could have occurred twice in a week, that people could have penetrated so easily and so quickly. Suppose the guy who got through the door of the White House had a body bomb on.
Yep.
Incredible damage could have been done. People could have been killed. The president may have been injured. I mean, this is very, very serious. I think the shakeup at the Secret Service is now required, but that's up to the president. I mean, he's the guy in charge. I mean, he's the one who should be demanding, and his White House chief of staff, that hack over there, Dennis McDonough. I mean, I don't know what these guys think of, but they have a duty to protect the president, and they better get off their duffs and start to do something about it.
Well, Joe, many have been saying, listen, the president wasn't in the White House, so the Secret Service has different protocols. But the White House is a symbol of our democracy. And as you mentioned, the body bomb, I mean, ISIS, they would, obviously, I'm sure ISIS would love to attack the White House with the president in it. But either way, the damage would be done if they were able to penetrate the perimeter like this guy did and blow himself up there at the front door.
Well, I'll tell you what I can't understand. They're supposed to release dogs. Why didn't they release the dogs? Are they afraid of some image? Is this politically correct BS? They're worried about what it's going to look like it's Bull Connorism, because some screwball jumps the gate and runs into the White House. All you have to do is release the dogs. The dogs will stop these people in 10 seconds.
Hounds. Yeah. I know Jason Chaffetz is one of the congressmen who oversees this. I know he wants to ask a lot of questions about this.
But hold on, Joe. The thing that bothers me is that the Secret Service, and I said this earlier, if they had their way, they would basically wall off the entire city from the public. I mean, they always want more. They always want more security. They want a bigger bubble. They want a wider bubble. They want to intensify security. And you have to find the balance, don't you, between, having good security around the president, but not completely walling off the presidency.
Well, they're not going to get what they want right now. The proposals they've made is silly. This is about the Secret Service personnel and the management of them. They did not follow protocols. They say they did. I don't believe they did. Why weren't the dogs released? This is nonsense. They just don't want the image of a dog fighting a person. It is so stupid and so idiotic, but it's all about the symbolism of security. And I'll tell you, they're not going to get what they want.
And imagine if they had shot the guy. Oh my goodness, that would have been another image they didn't want.
I have no problem with shooting anybody over the fence, but
Yeah.
but they didn't have to do that. All they have to do is release the dogs. The dogs are trained to grab people, to stop them. I mean, this could have been handled so much better. I think the real question is, why didn't they release the dogs?
Yeah.
I got an answer to that.
Yeah, there definitely have to be some more and a whole lot of questions answered about this before we start having checkpoints around the neighborhood. Yeah,
absolutely.
All right. So, look, another thing that's going on right now is this Ray Rice appeal. I mean, we've been talking about Ray Rice. We've seen the video. He wants to get a sort of an appeal to this process. The way I read the thing, he might actually have a case for an appeal.
Well, he has a right to an appeal under the collective bargaining agreement, and he can do whatever he wants.
Well, and double jeopardy and all that. I mean, does he have a fair argument?
We talked about this last week. There's an Article 46 inside the collective bargaining agreement. I think Goodell violated that, and I do think he has a very good argument that he cannot be punished for the second time. However, the real issue here is not Ray Rice. The bottom line here is we have an NFL commissioner who is an incompetent. I don't know if you saw his news conference the other day where he was going to answer these questions. It was one of the worst performances by a senior executive of a major corporation that I have ever seen. I don't know who is advising Roger Goodell, But this guy looked like a guy ready to go into a lineup in police headquarters.
Joe, we've been pretty hard on the commissioner as well, but I wonder, I mean, what do you think he should have done? I mean, he went up there, he said, I got it wrong.
Shut up.
Oh, you think he shouldn't make himself accessible to the media at all?
Not at this point, not while there's an investigation underway. He appoints Robert Mueller, the former FBI director, to conduct an investigation, and he goes out and he pretends. Remember, he didn't answer any questions. He pretended to answer questions. This is a mistake, and the reason he was told to do that is that this story is deteriorating so badly for him that the morons around him told him he needed to go out and be seen publicly so it didn't look like he was hiding. This had nothing to do with the truth or cleaning up the problem. It had to do with saving Roger Goodell's ass.
All right, listen, I want to ask you about Apple. You know, they've changed their operating system again. And now it used to be that if you went to Apple and said, "Look, I'm locked out of my phone," or the police came to them with a warrant, they could unlock the phone. But they've set up the phone encryption system so that not even they can't open it now, which means that when the police come to them with warrants for information that's on a phone, they say, "Sorry, can't help you. We can't unlock it. We don't have the ability. It's encrypted." And the police are upset about that.
Well, what you do at that point when you have a warrant, because you have a court order, that's what a warrant is. It's an order to surrender the information or the property. You take the phone at that point. And at that point, you go back to court, and the judge brings the person in who has the encryption and says, "Open it up." And if the person doesn't open it up, they're held in contempt. I've seen that there's some case law that says that this is a violation of the Fifth Amendment. It is not. You can be ordered to stand in a lineup so your face can be seen. That's not you can be ordered to give blood. I can assure you the Supreme Court will say you have to turn over the encryption code.
I guess
once there's a warrant, there is no question the police are entitled to the information.
I guess from the police standpoint, yeah, they understand that, but the process would take so long,
Well,
and there are instances where police can't wait that long to get the information.
Well, if there's nothing you can do about it at that point. If the person's not going to give you the encryption and the company says it doesn't have the ability to give you encryption, there's no other choice. Now, I can tell you right now, if the police really needed to get into that phone, there are people who can de-encrypt that phone. It may not be Apple, but there are people at the NSA and people at the FBI who have the ability to get into that phone. And if they are ordered by a court to do it, believe me, they will get in.
They'll get in. All right, Joe DiGenova, always good to have you, Joe. Enjoy your golf outing with your big Hollywood buddy there, Joe Pesci.
We started yesterday.
Is this amusing to you, Joe? What, am I a clown to you? Are you laughing at me, Joe?
No, I'm laughing with you, Larry.
Oh, all right. That's a joke.
I saw you on Fox the other day.
All
right.
Thank you. Yes, I have a face for radio.
Yes,
Thank
he's
you.
a big television star. All right, let's move.